Radio. You're here with me, Imtiaz Ali, and I'm your host for the day. And at present, I have no co-hosts, so you're gonna have to bear with me for a while as I try and take you through what's in the show in store for you today. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. It's 106.2 FM here in Peterborough. Also, welcome to our Inspire FM listeners in Luton. 105.1 FM. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for joining us. I've been on a bit of a break actually. I wasn't here last week, so you had the pleasure of the company of Sadat and Arif, and I think they think that they're due a holiday themselves, so they've taken a bit of time out. Sadat won't be joining us, inshallah. Arif will be joining us soon. So there's a number of things that have been going on in the world of sport that we're going to be talking about today. We've had the conclusion of the Grand Prix, the Hungarian Grand Prix. I'm pleased to say Arif has just joined me. Assalamu alaikum, Arif.
Walaikum salam. How are you?
Pretty good. Good to have you back.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I was just saying we're going to be talking about the Grand Prix, the Hungarian Grand Prix, which, as you know, you're a big fan. Vettel, he's done it again.
He's done it again.
He's done it again.
I actually missed it today because I had quite a few other things going on. But yeah, I think his car was the fastest car. Yesterday he actually did the fastest lap ever for the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Yeah.
So
is that in Budapest, you know?
Yes, in Budapest, yeah.
Okay. And
So-
I mean, what kind of a track is it? I'm not too familiar with the track.
it's a bit like Monaco,
It's a bit
but
windy.
without the
The
you know, the
crowd on the
barriers and
course.
stuff.
Yeah. So I love Monaco. Monaco's the
Yeah.
most iconic, isn't it? Is where
Yeah.
you got the crowd literally on the course and you've got all the barriers. and
It's
everything.
like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of windy stuff, but
Yeah.
there's no
Sure.
barriers.
Okay. The other thing that's going on right now is the European Women's Championships.
Yeah.
And so I've been following that a little bit. And I've been keeping track of England. England smashed Scotland in their opening game
They
6-0.
did, yeah.
I think you might have covered that last week, actually.
We did, yeah.
And then they played, was it Portugal? They beat Portugal and they beat Spain.
Yeah.
Spain 2-0 and Portugal 2-1. So they're in the semi-finals and they're playing later today. But the big
Big
news
news
is... Go on.
is Denmark beating Germany.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So Germany have won, I think, 6 consecutive European
Yeah.
championships, and England are, I think they're known as being the second best team in Europe.
Yeah.
So Germany always win it, and England do okay. But I mean, if you look at worldwide women's football, you've obviously got the Americans, you've got the
Who else?
Brazilians, you've got the Germans, and you've got the Japanese. Those 4 teams are big, but the only European team that contest against England are Germany.
Yeah.
So Germany are out.
Which is a big shock. You know.
Huge shock, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, Denmark have had a decent start. They've had a decent run, but they've not really blown teams away. But to beat Germany, I think it was 2-1, was it?
I don't know what the score was.
Okay.
I just heard it that the shock happened.
Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about them, and they've got their game later on today against France. Then we've got the cricket. So South Africa tour of England. This is the Yeovil Test.
Yeah,
We're in day 4.
I've sort of followed a little bit of it. But I know England have lost quite a few wickets.
But they've got a massive lead, though.
They've got a big lead, yeah. So
Yes.
they've got a day to play tomorrow. It depends on how they want to do it.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to talk about is the forthcoming Premier League season, which is usually our favourite topic of conversation. We've had
It
a
is.
summer break. There's been a few. I don't know. Do you follow the friendly tournaments much? I
Do
don't.
you know what I did?
Okay.
I followed the. I mean, the games in America, were obviously on a little bit late, 1 in the morning, so I didn't get a chance to follow those. But I did. I did follow the. Liverpool winning the Premiership.
Liverpool won the Premiership.
Yeah,
Liverpool won the Premier League.
yeah, they won the Premier League. Don't you know about it?
Oh, the women.
No, the Asian Premier League.
Oh, the
That tournament they were playing.
yeah.
That was the Asian Premier League.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so at least we've won something.
Yeah, we won the league. Yeah, so we knew it was going to happen at some
Yeah.
point. Okay, cool. And what was that?
That was just the cricket.
Okay. And obviously, the other big thing that we're all involved in is the forthcoming season for FC Peterborough.
Yeah.
So some exciting times ahead.
Yeah.
As you know, we're in Division 2 now. The first team is in Division 2. The reserves are in Division 4. The new A team is going to be playing in Division 5. We've also got 2 new teams coming in, the under 8s and the under 7s.
Yeah.
And I had a coaching session with the under 7s earlier on today. Fantastic new player. I'm
Really?
going to tell you about. Yeah, I won't tell you his name, but fantastic new player that's been brought in specially by one of our players. And yeah, he looks pretty good. He's only 6, but he's a fantastic player. So lots to talk about. Where's Sadat today?
Sadat apparently had some issues. His missus wouldn't let him out today. I don't know why.
Sadat, man, he's so under the thumb.
Mm-hmm.
What is up with that? No, I think Sadat can't be. I think he's out of town, isn't he, today?
Yeah, he's out of town.
So he's trying to get back. So he may join us later on today. But even if he doesn't, I'm sure we're gonna have a great show.
Yeah.
As always, guys, if you want to interact with the show, Kasim, are we on Facebook Live? Yeah, we are. We're on Facebook Live, guys. So interact with us. Let me see if I can refresh the screen and get it up on Facebook Live. Where are we? I can't see us. Kasim, I can't see us. I think we're having some technical problems. So can you just put it up on our screen, please? Also, if you want to ring into the studio, it's 01733 602 133. That's 01733 602 133. You can text or WhatsApp us on 07745 278 978. You must all have this number saved in your phone book. So if you haven't, pull your phones out, put this number in your phone book. It's 07745 278 978. So yeah, do get in touch. Do get in touch with the show and let us know what you want to talk about. Let's kick off there. Oh, and sorry, the one other thing that I did want to touch on. I know we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago, but it's getting near the time now. McGregor Mayweather.
You mean the farce? Are we talking about the farce here?
The absolute circus of a fight. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Obviously, I've been speaking to a lot of people, and they're saying, you know, a lot of people have got strong views on whether or not that fight should take place, whether it's a legitimate fight, whether it's even going to be worth watching, all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure our listeners are going to have a lot of views on that. If you guys have got any views on the whole Mayweather-McGregor farce stroke fight stroke competition, I mean, they've got Vegas, which has become the home of boxing.
Of course, you know.
So it's the biggest venue. Yeah. It's what is it, August 26th?
I don't know what date it is.
Yeah, so it's later on in August, and I mean, what they're saying, the tickets are still available, but they're at ridiculous prices. So, have you even tried getting a ticket?
No, I wouldn't be interested.
You know, are you going to buy a pay-per-view?
I probably will. Yeah.
That's the thing, but that's still lining their pockets, isn't it? So we'll talk a little bit about that as well later on in the show. So, as a precursor to the Hungarian Grand Prix, then the last Grand Prix was a British, wasn't it? There was no Grand Prix last week. Yeah. So obviously Hamilton won that. And Hamilton went into the lead. He was was he 1.1 behind?
He was 1 point behind.
He was 1 point behind, and it was halfway through the season. So now the second half of the season kicks off. This was the first Grand Prix before they have a summer break now, don't they?
They do. They're going to have a few week break.
So what does it mean now? Vettel wins. Hamilton finished fourth.
Yeah, I think Vettel's now 13 points or 14 points ahead. Obviously, still very, very close. You know, last year we were arguing about, or there was discussions about, Hamilton's car was not performing, and I think he's had similar sort of issues this round. It's not as quick as what you expect. The Ferraris have actually, sorted themselves out. The Red Bulls are, they're going much quicker as well.
So I want to go a little bit technical into this, because I know there's something called straight line speed, and then there's cornering speed, and then out of the corner, so the acceleration. Now when you're racing a car which has got great handling and it's got great acceleration out the corners, then you want a really bendy, windy kind of course, and you won't get many opportunities to overtake. But if you can get a good qualifying lap in, hit pole position, or in the top 2 or 3 places, you're pretty much going to secure your place.
Of
you
course,
might pit
it's
better. So Hamilton, has he got a good, good cornering, handling car, or has he got good straight line speed?
I think he's got good straight line speed. They use a DRS quite a bit, and they can only use it at a certain time. DRS is basically, it's like an injection of speed. So, but Vettel's car is actually coming up. It's
so they're making little tweaks to it along the way.
And yesterday when he won when he got pole position and everything, I thought to myself, it's going to be a straightforward race. He was going to win it as long as his car doesn't fail on him. There isn't going to be much overtaking, which is not great, is it?
Yeah.
Because you want a bit of a race, don't you?
Yeah. So you just mentioned DRS.
Yeah.
I used to know what that is. Is that drag? What is it?
DRS, as far as I know, is basically
it's the slipstream, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when you see in cycling Tour de France, you get it a lot where the front runners they take all the wind in their face, and they've got to pedal a lot harder, and the guys behind them are just cruising, and they're saving their energy. And when you've got team sports, what you get is you get somebody taking the front, and then they move to the back, and somebody else takes the front, and so on. So DRS in motorsports is where you just follow a car in its slipstream, so you don't get the wind resistance, and then you can put the foot down.
Absolutely, yeah.
Overtake on the straights. Okay, so Vettel's car's improved in
his car's really improved this year, and I think you've also got Bottas, who's.
I've not heard much about Bottas. Has he been around for a while? Or?
Yeah, he's been around this year.
Okay,
and he's doing pretty well. I think in the championship he's third or fourth. Last week, this week he's actually overtaken Hamilton.
Yeah, so they were saying that Hamilton lost third place.
Yeah.
But, did he lose it, or did Bottas just wrestle it off of him?
Yeah, I think Bottas wrestled it off him. But
sure.
You'd expect him to win that at that point, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Given that he's a seasoned pro, given that he's been in that position so many times, so. I think ultimately what it means is Hamilton is 14 points behind, and he's got a 4-week wait before he can get back on track.
I think it's this year it's going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, is it a 2-horse race? Is Raikkonen doing anything? Is Bottas picking up points here and there?
I think it's a 2-horse race.
Genuinely 2-horse race. And who's Vettel's driving partner? Because they have 2 drivers per team.
It's Raikkonen.
Okay, and he's not really.
No, he's there.
So he's got a 1-2 today with the Vettel Raikkonen.
1-2.
Yeah, and. Hamilton's obviously the lead driver for his team. Who's his second?
Bottas.
Oh, so literally it was a 1, 2, 3, 4 for the 2 teams. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, so it's going to be an interesting second half.
It's going to be an interesting second half. I think what I think is Hamilton's been poor this year.
Yeah,
he's not been great. Last year, he was. Ayrton Senna used to take risks.
Okay.
He used to, take it as far as he could take it, and then break.
Sure.
Now, and Hamilton's always renowned for that, taking that risk.
So being a little bit of a gung-ho driver.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, this year he's not been performing as well as you'd expect him to do, and that's a difference in the races.
Yeah. Well, so with things like this, it's like I always judge the drivers based on their results. So I look at the results and I think, somebody's at the top of the leaderboard, they're obviously a good driver. But what you're saying is a little bit more than that. It's like, you could be an amazing driver. You could probably have the best driver in Formula 1 right now might not be the one that's in the podiums because he might be in a rubbish car. So he's probably getting the most out of the car that he could get.
If you remember a few years back, Nigel Mansell, he won the Formula 1 car.
Sure.
And but he wasn't. He's not one. He's just a methodical driver. Just kept on going.
Okay.
His car was the fastest in that year. He won it because of that. He didn't win it because he was a better racer than Schumacher, who finished second or third.
So how does it compare to something like horse racing? Do you know they say jockeys, and they've always got these famous jockeys, and they celebrate the jockeys. And in fact, jockeys have even won Sports Personality of the Year a number of times. And I used to get so annoyed with that because I used to think, what is he doing other than making sure he doesn't fall off the horse and smacking it? He's got the little whip.
Absolutely,
It's the horse that is the athlete there, right? It's the horse that's running and jumping those fences and so on. So, Formula 1's a little bit like that. Obviously you need the driving skills, but if your car is superior, as long as you're not making mistakes, and that in itself is a skill, but as long as you're not making mistakes, you should get out the other end.
You should, absolutely. So it's similar in that sense.
Yeah.
But horse race.
But then when you mentioned Senna, you mentioned Schumacher. Schumacher was a great driver. Obviously, Hamilton's got very, he's known as a skillful driver. So there's a bit of both there. But and I guess Formula 1 doesn't discount the quality of the car because they do have a constructors championship as well as a drivers championship. So so in that sense, it's kind of it kind of does pass a little bit of recognition on there as well.
Absolutely.
Cool. Let's move on a little bit then. European Championships.
European Championships. Are we talking about the ladies?
The ladies' European Championships. Yeah. Are you going to watch the game tonight?
What time is it on tonight?
It's at 7:45. I think, is it Channel 4 have got the games?
No, do you know what? I can't remember who. I think, is it Sky?
I thought it was terrestrial TV. We could probably check out. If anybody knows, then do text in and let us know where the games are showing. I thought it might have been terrestrial TV, but England with a genuine chance. They've yet to win a major honour, haven't they?
Yeah.
They've not won a World Cup. They've not won European Championships, and
I think that this year they've got their chance. They're looking pretty good, pretty solid. They beat the Spain pretty easily.
Yeah, they beat Spain pretty easily.
Portugal was a tough game, but
and they've been through a period now where they've had a number of good results over a period of time, and this is their one opportunity, isn't it? This is their one opportunity where Germany's out of the picture. But then with England teams, I don't know how it translates over to the women's team, but in the men's teams, when one of the big fish fall out, or you get a good qualifying, you get like a good draw in the next round, you get Iceland in the next round, you expect to beat them comfortably, and then you lose 3-1. It's
I think technically the England
Shola McShola's watching. Shola, text in, let us know what you think of England's chances in the European Championships. That's the England women, with Germany out. What do you reckon? Do you reckon England have got a chance? Let us know what you think, mate.
I think with
Shola knows his football, doesn't he?
He knows his football. He's sweet left foot.
Yeah, he was a good player when he was slim.
Yeah.
So no, they've genuinely got a chance, and it would be interesting to see how they get on tonight, because France, are a good team.
France are a good team,
but you expect England to win.
Yeah.
England we've got an established league here. We've got the women's Super League that they contest in. They've got clubs. They've got money.
They spend a lot of money, of course.
Do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're getting a lot of sponsorships in the game as well. So the money's there. The professionalism has come in. You've noticed that with the England team, they're a lot more professional. The reason why a team like the USA dominate in women's football is because of the way they divvy up the athletics grants, the sports grants. So they have massive sports programs at American universities, and they fund things like American football, basketball, and so on. But with the women, they don't have the American football. Obviously, the women don't play that. They do have basketball teams, but then the alternative sport they take up is soccer. So American soccer is massive. It's women's American soccer is absolutely huge, and that's why they dominate the world at it. England are definitely getting there. England are going to be competing, and I'll look forward to the results tonight. Hopefully we'll be sat here next weekend, because the semi-finals are today. Sorry, the quarterfinals are today. The semi-finals are going to be midweek, and the finals should be next Sunday, I think.
Next Sunday, yeah.
So that would be good. Cedra Shabir is watching. Cedra, what do you think of the England women's chances in the European Championships? Get in touch. Let us know what you think. Whether you think England have got a chance, whether you think the England women will outshine the men with the men's recent exit in the European. Well, it was the Europeans, wasn't it, when we lost to Iceland?
It was European Championships, wasn't it?
Yeah, with the World Cup in Russia coming up. So we'll talk about that, I'm sure, in future shows. Let's move on a little bit. Cricket.
Cricket's been a little bit.
We're going to win, aren't we?
I don't know.
Well, 175 all out. South Africa, first innings.
Yeah.
We had a massive lead, and they've come in. Yeah, they've lost a few wickets now. So I was following earlier, they've lost a few wickets now, but they've got like a close to a 300-run lead.
Yeah, it depends if they're gonna depends on what South Africa want to do and how the weather's gonna turn out as well. I think if it's cloudy, then England definitely got a chance. If it's a full sunny day, then South Africa might just try to go out for a draw. But depends on when England are going to retire. Are they going to retire in the next after the tea break, or?
So we've talked about this a number of times, and it's always interesting. There's different captains do different things.
Yeah.
If you're bowling a team out in the fourth innings, how long would you give yourself?
If you're bowling a team out, I think it depends on what score you get.
Yeah.
The score is going to be the key, isn't it? Because you've got to make it competitive enough for them to try to chase the score. And if it's too much, then they're just going to try to sit out, aren't they?
Shola McShola saying, haha. I'm not sure what he's saying haha to. Is that because you said he's got a sweet left foot, or because I said he was a decent player when he was slim?
I think it's probably...
I take that back, in fact. Shola, you're still a decent player, but you were incredible when you were slim. I think that's fair, isn't it? Yeah, he's still a decent player. You know what? He trains with us sometimes. He comes out and plays with us, and he's as good as most. It's declare, Arif. He's saying, England are gonna have to declare.
Yeah,
what did you say?
Retire.
Yeah, they're not gonna
Sorry,
retire.
apologies for that.
Apologies, Shola, to all of our
and
listeners.
Shola, I was just gonna say that you're a fantastic footballer, and
but I'll tell you what.
But I'm gonna take that back now.
So I think
So do one.
I think fourth innings, if you're chasing anything over 250, it's a bit of a tough ask, particularly if you've only scored 175 in the first innings. England are now on 430 lead. 430
which
runs,
is a big lead.
It's a massive lead. I don't think anyone's chased that kind of score in the fourth innings. And you want to... there's two schools of thought. One is give them a 350 odd target, so they've got it in their sights and psychologically they're thinking we might chase it, and then more prone to lose wickets. And the other is give them such a mountain to climb that they're thinking, we've got to defend, and that mindset is the undoing of them. So which school is? I mean, Australia. We know Australia. Australia just like bang out as much score as you possibly want, and then give them as long as you possibly can to bat. But they're never going to get the score. But England, they've kind of, you don't quite know where they sit.
I think Root, being a new captain and everything, I think he's going to be a bit more defensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd rather, they want to get something where they feel that can't be chased at all.
Yeah.
And they're going to try to give it, I think they're going to probably bat till, 5 o'clock today, and then,
So they usually have
declare.
They declare. They usually close about 6:30. Is it?
Yeah, 6:30.
Yeah. So you definitely want to give them an hour and a half,
Yeah.
don't you? And that's what 15 or 20 odd overs. So if they can do that, I think it will definitely be. It would. Yeah. It would. They can pick up 1 or 2 wickets, and it should be all over. It should be game over.
It should be all over.
Yeah.
But the South Africans are, they're the number one number one ranked team for Test cricket.
Yeah.
So they've got to put themselves out there today.
Yeah. I mean, which test is this? Is this
is the third test.
And
yeah.
is it 1-1 at the moment?
It's 1-1, yeah.
So so it's a good series, isn't it? It's a
Yeah.
good series. I think most people are very, very interested in the outcome of the way it's going. I think England have put themselves in a great position. I'm definitely going to watch it for the rest of the day and tomorrow, and see how we get on, because it could be 2-1. Is it a 5-setter?
I don't know. I think it's
5-setter.
It's 4.
5 test series. 4 test series.
4 test series.
I hate the even number series as well, because then if you get 4 results, it could be 2-2. It's just
It
annoying.
could potentially, yeah.
Yeah. But so hopefully they'll just crack on. Do you know how many wickets down they are?
There were 5 wickets down when I last checked.
And the other thing I was going to
6
ask you
wickets
about.
down
So,
now.
are you familiar with some of these newer players?
No, I'm not actually.
So I checked the scorecard on the first day, and Jennings. I know Jennings got the
Jennings, yeah.
he got the Test century on his debut, didn't he?
He did.
And since then he's been struggling a bit. Now there's Wesley, there's Mullen.
Well, Mullen I've heard of. Wesley I haven't heard of.
Okay,
and
so-
I haven't heard of the bowler who's.
Oh, so the
taken
bowlers are on debut
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
He's got a 5-4.
5
He's
wickets,
the
yeah.
first bowler to get 5 wickets on Test debut since Graham Onions in 2009.
Graham Onion.
And you know what a massive impact Graham Onions had on the international scene, didn't you?
Yeah.
No,
Well,
no.
I remember him because you remember the name, but
Yeah.
but you don't remember anything more than that.
Albert Hussain from Chiroi is saying it will be impossible for South Africa to chase anything of 400. I completely agree, Albert. I think 4th innings, if you're getting anything above 300, you might as well just try and bat out the rest of the time that you've got, because you're going to be struggling. The moment you start chasing a total, I think you open yourself up. If you're attacking a ball, particularly early on in the innings, and you're going forward for drives and stuff, they're going to put the ball up there for you to
They're
drive.
gonna absolutely,
Yeah, they're going
yeah,
to have the slip
yeah.
cordon filled out, and you could potentially just slash out one and potentially lose a wicket. So it's going to be interesting. It could be good news for England.
Yeah, it could be good news for England. I think England will go for the kill.
Yeah. So we're going to be going to a break in a couple of minutes. Just before we do, can I talk about something? Can I talk about the Summer Festival? So the Summer Festival is celebrating Salaam Radio's 1-year anniversary. It's similar to events that have been run in the past around the Summer Fete and so on and all that. It's going to be held in the Millfield Recreation Park, which is opposite Occupation Road. You know where the fun fairs used to be at the
Yeah,
bottom of Borges
absolutely,
Boulevard
yeah,
down
yeah.
there. So that's where it's going to be. It's going to be on Sunday the 20th of August, so it's in 3 weeks' time, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And there's going to be lots and lots of activities specifically for the children. So if you're listening and if you want something to do, particularly keeping your children entertained over the summer holidays, we've talked about other events as well. Obviously, people like Fatua are putting on a lot of events for kids to take part in, sports and whatnot. But this is going to be an excellent family day out. I'm certainly going to be there. I think we're going to have a live show from there as well.
Yeah,
So-
FCP bro will.
FCP are going to be FCP are going to be there as
Yeah.
well. There's going to be fun fair rides, bouncy castles, chocolate fountain. It has to be a chocolate fountain. Face painting, archery, penalty shootouts, which is what we're going to be running, Arif. So Arif and myself are going to be there along with other coaches from FCP Pro. We'll be doing a penalty shootout. We're going to get lots and lots of kids involved in football and all that kind of stuff. There's going to be food and clothes stalls and other children's activities. So it's going to be free entry. Please make that a date in your diary. Sunday the 20th of August. You'll be able to find it all over social media, so you won't miss out on this. Definitely keep your eyes open for that, and we hope you can join us there. Today's going to be a half-hour show, guys, because We've got a couple of things on later on this afternoon, so unfortunately we won't be coming back after the break. But well, we will be back obviously next week for the full hour, and inshallah you can join us then. Just before we do go though, what I wanted to say was so FC Peterborough. FC Peterborough were very, very keen. We've said this before as well. Very, very keen for children to get involved. I'm managing the new under sevens team, so if there's any parents out there who want their children to get involved in football, we've got FA qualified coaches. We offer coaching to children from the age of 6 all the way up to 14. But I'm particularly looking for children who are currently in year 1 or just finished year 1, going to go into year 2.
So they're going to fit into your team?
They're going to fit into my team. Yeah. So I'm going to be managing that team. They're going to fit into my team. I've already got 7 or 8 really, really good players. I'd love to get 3 or 4 more. There's space, basically. There's space in the under 7s category. So if anybody's interested in getting their child involved in football, then do get in touch with us. We have got a caller on the line now. Caller on the line. If you're ringing, I'm afraid we are going offline now, so you're going to have to try us again next week. Apologies for that. And Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for listening, everyone.
Assalaam. Thank you very much.